Joint practice with the Chicago Bears. A little interesting, and we'll get into that. What is up, Finn fans? First joint practice of the offseason with the Chicago Bears. Training camp day 12. It got interesting in the aspect of I have limited information for you guys, but I do have a bunch of information for you guys. So we're going to do the usual. We're going to do Brian Flores press conference, and I got some notes, and then I have practice notes, but again, it's conflated or complicated. I don't know what I was trying to say. Before we jump into that, I got to shout out some new people. First, new members, Shane, Adsit, and Floyd Watley. Thank you guys so much for being new members. If you guys would like to join the membership or the Patreon membership, you just hit the join button next to subscribe. Patreon is linked below. You get great special features like joining the Discord. So if you guys are part of the membership or the Patreon, be sure to watch the video I put up on Monday on how to join the Discord, all that good stuff, and you get special perks and all that stuff. Also, a special happy birthday to Clarence Tinney. I think that's how you say your last name. He hit me up yesterday and said that today was his birthday, and if it was possible to give him a birthday wish. He said he had a heart transplant, so the fact that he is here at the age of 16 is just something great. And we're all happy you're here, and we all wish you a very happy birthday, Clarence Tinney. And also, Clarence, don't forget to check out Backroom Collections for some great artwork when it comes to NFL, NBA, all that great stuff. Use the promo code DDW, you get yourself 10% off some great artwork that you can hang on the walls like I did here. I got one right there. Also, check out patchvibes.com. They got great t-shirts, hats. That Bass Pro Shop hat is ridiculous. All that great stuff. Use the promo code DDW2 and you get yourself 20% off. So, yes, there's something I'm going to talk about, and it's been all over Twitter. Normally, I try to do like an inside the NFL thing right here because a lot of you guys tend to like that. But I'm going to talk about this for comment of the day because it blew up all over Twitter. So we'll talk about something you probably hope that I'm going to talk about, but we'll talk about it for comment of the day. So I'm going to jump into what Brian Flores had to say. So he calls Hunter Long day to day, but he is with them in Chicago. He says everyone made the trip to Chicago. Everyone. There's definitely some excitement to go out there and practice with the Bears. There are rules of engagement. No fighting, no cut block. We want to get good work and good competition and keep everyone safe and healthy. Yes, that's the most important thing. Some people say I don't give a crap about preseason. Me personally, as a guy who reports on the team and who is incredibly in-depth on the team, preseason to me, I get an understanding of me not being able to go to training camp, of what's going on with the strength, the weaknesses, all that good stuff. Plus, I could see the depth. Who's going to make the team, who's not, all that stuff. It's good to see a new team with guys who had different skill sets at different concepts. 100%. Like I said, I think in last comment of the day, it's the same monotonous over and over again, working against the same person. Kind of pick up on things. He says Parker Fuller Wilson will not practice. Neither will Hunter Long. Tua will play Saturday. He doesn't say for how long. He says we want everyone to get some snaps in the game. As far as how much, we'll talk about that stuff later on. He says we have a scheduled process to get X ready to go, so it's going to be like a slow build-up process. Don't want to push him too hard, but Jalen Phillips is back at practice today, and that is fantastic to hear. Now, I got some notes, and then I'll talk about all the other stuff. So let's talk about the notes. O-line is the usual: Austin Jackson, Eichenberg, Dieter, Hunt, Davis at right tackle. I go left to right. Cornerbacks were Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. Wilkins, Davis, and Agba with the D-lines. Phillips was the edge rusher. He was out there. Then the weather got real bad. I'll pop up a video from one of you guys of the wind just being ridiculous. Then, so they head inside, and then there was a lightning delay, so they had to wait. Couldn't really do anything, and then there was a hold pattern. But there was, you saw Hunter Long watching practice on the sideline. He had no brace, no compression sleeve, nothing on his legs, so that's good. But since they went inside, they couldn't live tweet anything. So we were all sitting here like, well, what the heck is going on? But then they come back outside because the storm passed, but they still weren't live tweeting. So we were all sitting there like, what's going on? Dan Marino was there. So I have some practice notes, and then I got some pressers. And my practice notes might be all over the place. I don't have like, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, because again, they weren't live tweeting. Hopefully we get live tweeting tomorrow, so I can give you a better breakdown. But as of right now, it's going to be all over the place. But this is what I can tell you. Tua was throwing great passes, was whipping the ball around to Waddle, to Mac Hollins. Tua and Waddle had a bunch of nice connections. Javon Holland had a pick 6 on Andy Dalton. Absolutely love to hear that. Zach Seiler was sacking people left and right. The O-line struggled to protect Tua. He had a lot of guys in his face. Eichenberg either got benched or he got hurt, and Solomon Kinley took his place. Now, I don't know as of right now, but the D-line was completely owning the Bears' decimated offensive line, getting sack after sack after sack. Raekwon Davis was a beast today. Xavier Howard had an interception that was called back, unfortunately, but Jamal Perry also got himself an interception. And from Omar Kelly, now you could tell this isn't going to be biased because it's from Omar Kelly. Tua on 7-on-7s was carving up the defense. So Tua was having a day today. There's almost a fight between Tabor and Allen Hurns after a reception from Brissett. Flores had to go in and pull Allen Hurns out of the scrum. You don't mess with Brian Flores. Mac Hollins was a problem for that Bears defense. Now, I got some notes here from Joe Shad. He says, during lightning delay, Tua spent time with Miami's defensive line. Malcolm Brown took the first running back snaps with the first team. Christian Wilkins was with Miami's first team defensive line. We all saw that. Jason McCourty and Eric Rowe were the Miami Dolphins' first team safeties. So they probably had Javon Holland either running with the twos, which means Andy Dalton was the second team quarterback, which makes sense. He got that pick, or he was the roamer. Tua Tagovailoa, whipped a few sharp slants to Mac Hollins. Hunter Long is on the sideline, like I said, walking around pretty well. No brace, no sleeves. Tua's pass to Jakeem Grant was affected by wind. Again, it was extremely windy there today. Akeem Hicks moved Robert Hunt in one-on-one drills. Jakeem Grant and Jalen Waddle, a nice job handling punts in the crazy wind conditions. Khalil Mack stuffed Mac Hollins on an inside run. Like I said, the Dolphins' offensive line was struggling, especially going against Khalil Mack. Robert Foster was unable to haul in a long pass from Jacoby Brissett. Miami's offensive line is still Austin Jackson, Eichenberg, Dieter, Robert Hunt, Jesse Davis. Cornerback Javaris Davis had a nice pass breakup on a pass by Justin Fields. I'm hearing Justin Fields was very athletic. I'll tell you more when Tua talks about it. Dan Marino's out there. I understand he led at least one important defeat of the Bears. We all know about that one. Xavier Howard recorded an interception, but Emmanuel Ogbah was offsides. Come on. What is this? What is this? The championship game between the Patriots and the Chiefs? Shaquem Griffin had a sack. Again, their offensive line was struggling. Rookie Javon Holland intercepted Andy Dalton over the middle. Kervon LeBlanc had a pass breakup. Again, I hope he never leaves his team. I love saying his last name. Raekwon Davis manhandled the Bears' offensive lineman. Garrett Dokes had a drop. Got to do better than that. Jamal Perry had an interception. Tua Tagovailoa had a nice slant to Jalen Waddle and a strong crosser to Jakeem Grant. Again, I'm hearing he was carving up this defense. Solomon Kinley got some first-team action at left guard. Now, when I heard that Eichenberg was either benched or injured, that was from Omar Kelly. So, I completely forgot who I'm talking about now, said that Solomon Kinley got first-team action. Maybe it was rotation thing. I don't know. Robert Foster made a nice sideline catch from Jacoby Brissett. But that's all I got for you. So from what I'm hearing, and again, they couldn't live tweet. We all know Travis Wingfield accidentally live tweeted it, then he got shut down for a little bit. But they couldn't live tweet. So from what I'm hearing is it was a good day. I'm not going to say great day and not an excellent. The defense was dominant, which we all knew was going to happen. It actually made me very happy how dominant the defense was, even going up against Justin Fields. Offense, Tua was still passing. Tua was still carving him up, the run game, and he still had pressure up his face, which means that he is still growing and progressing, but the offensive line is still stagnant in that struggle area. So that needs to be worked on, whether they bring in somebody or whatever. But again, this is what I got. This is all I got for you. And I'm just telling you right now, it's the defense is extremely promising. Seems like they haven't skipped a beat. We'll see what happens Saturday. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully we get live tweets tomorrow. The offense, on the other hand, the offense will only go as far as the offensive line takes them. You could say, you could put it all on Tua all you want, but if the offensive line doesn't give Tua time, if the offensive line doesn't open running lanes and becomes a one-dimensional offense, it don't matter how good the quarterback is. The offensive line needs to do better. But again, if Tua's carving them up, maybe we'll see something where the defense can help us. But overall, it was an okay day today. Again, I can't tell you because they could barely live tweet. But I think the scrum and Flores pulling them out is hilarious. I love the interceptions from the defense. I love that Tua still has that connection. He's slinging the rock and carving up that defense. I love that the front seven is getting tons of pressure, tons of sack. That's what I love to hear. But comment below. What do you guys think off of the stuff that I could give you? Be sure to comment below, and I'm going to get you comment of the day. Now, for comment of the day, I don't have a specific comment. I have this clip of Joy Taylor. Yes, I'm going to talk about it real quick, though, of Joy Taylor talking about Joe Burrow and his injury.
When you have a major injury, you have a major setback in your career.
It screws with your head.
It does. And especially if it's your body and you know that what could happen if you get injured again, the time away, the training, the rehab, everything that you have to do to come back to be what you were and then be better because of the expectations. It's a lot.
Of course. And you know, it's guys with breadcrumbs on your shirt, stop questioning great athletes' motivation.
Now, my problem, and it seems like a lot of Dolphin fans' problems, to the point where Joy Taylor had to come out and say something in an interview. I don't care if she's critical of Tua. I don't care if her opinions of Tua changed, because apparently I don't follow her much because I don't like who she works for, because he is a hypocrite and a flip-flopper. If you don't know, he said Baker Mayfield was compared him to a T to Johnny Manziel, but then when Baker Mayfield was in his face, he's like, I never compare. Like, he's just a coward. That's probably where his last name comes from. I have no problem with Joy Taylor. I have no problem with her opinion. Again, your opinion could change from pre-draft to now. Your opinion could change for a lot of reasons. You could be super critical of Tua last year because he wasn't great. You know, he wasn't where we wanted him to be, but he wasn't horrible. He had some aspects of his game that need to be worked on. So yes, there are critical aspects you can be critical of. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with any of that. My problem is Joe Burrow hasn't even played a down of football. You're going off of Joe Burrow and the report that he struggled for a little bit in camp. And you're going off of that, and you're just coming out with the laundry list of the ACL tear and the body, and you gotta this, and you gotta have, it takes a toll on you mentally and physically, and da-da-ba, and this and that, da-da-ba, going on about Joe Burrow, giving him excuses because of the injury. Where was this for Tua? That is my only problem. Because there are interviews out there where people talked about, well, he had a major hip injury. And she goes, I don't want to hear the injury excuse. But you just gave Joe Burrow an injury excuse, and he hasn't even played a season yet. He hasn't even started the season yet. So he might come out and do MVP season. And your excuses you're giving him now are obsolete. But it's like you're preemptively saying, hey, if he does do bad, injuries. But Tua struggled in some aspects of his game because of the hip injury, because limited. I don't want to hear about the injuries. That's what bothers me. Why is the injuries for Joe Burrow credible and that's should be taken into account, but the injuries for Tua are nonsense, excuses, and I don't want to hear it. It's my only problem. Other than that, whatever she said about Tua, it's her opinion. She's not wrong in her opinion. I'm critical of Tua. He holds the ball too long last season. He needed to be more decisive. There was a lot that I was critical of Tua last year. So that was my only point. That's it. Because she even came out and I was like, is she going to address the hypocrisy, or is she just going to come out and say that Tua fans and Dolphin fans are emotional? And she kind of did that. And I'm like, that's not the point, though. That's not what bothered certain Dolphin fans. Has nothing to do with you being critical of him. Be critical of him. I'm critical of him. I want to win a Super Bowl. So I'm going to be overcritical of them. Just don't be a hypocrite. That's what I got for you today. Be sure to check out Miami Sports Music. Fantastic site, YouTube channel with a ton of podcasters, YouTubers, me, K-Flex, and TD. Go check them out. They have that great morning show. But other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we get live tweets. Hopefully I can give you some videos, all that stuff, because the Chicago Bears shut it down. They were like, nope, no live tweeting, no nothing. So hopefully I can give you that tomorrow. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. Fins up.